A command in programming is one of the few words that has exactly the same meaning in ordinary English. It just means do something. You use pseudocode and mind mapping to plan the sequence of commands that you need to go through. And the sequence of commands has to work. For example, you wouldn't walk to a door, open it, and then try and read the book that's on the table. That wouldn't be a logical sequence of commands. You use pseudocode and mind mapping to plan the order of the commands. And you don't need to remember the commands themselves. That's what the internet, that's what programming books are for. If there's an error in your syntax or your logic, syntax is the grammar of what you're doing, logic is the order in which things are done, then it's always your fault. You don't have an option over this. If your program doesn't work, it's you that has it wrong. Not the programming language, not the computer, there's no bug in them. The problem lies with you. And at first that seems like a really odd concept. It seems as if somebody's pointing a finger at you. But this isn't the case. Inside that computer is just some silicon, some sand, and the sand doesn't care. If you've got it wrong, you've got it wrong. If you don't explain it in the way the sand expects to see it, the sand won't make a common sense understanding of what you're trying to do. It'll just hold its little silicon legs in the air and say, "Dunno, I'm dead." And then your program doesn't work. So just get over the fact that you will make errors and start spending the time looking for the errors rather than worrying about the errors themselves. That worry time is wasted.
Let's now have a look at how a program would actually appear in pseudocode. First of all, we have to give the command program and the name of the program. So this program is called commands. Then we have to define any variables that we want in our program. As you can see here, we're defining a variable called name. And in this case, name is text, because what goes in your name is just ordinary text. We're going to get name by the user inputting some data when they see the display, "What is your name?" So up on the screen will pop a little message box that says, "What is your name?" The user types in their name, and that's what will go into the memory location that we've called name. Having got something into name, we can now output it. In this case, it's going to the screen, and what it's going to display is "Your name is," followed by a space, and then whatever is in the memory called name. So once it's done that, the program can end, and we have a little pseudocode program. All programs must start with the word program and end with end program. In between are the commands. In this case, the command is to input some data and to output that data to the screen.
Now let's see how this would look as a mind map. As we always do, we start with a program plan, and by pressing the insert button, create the program name. So in this case, the program is called command. Then press enter, and you can enter the end program. That gives us our start and finish. Now let the cursor hover over program command, and it will turn grey like this. We can then press the insert key, and we get the first sub item. Here we're defining name as text, just as we did before. Then we're telling the computer we want to ask the user, "What is your name?" and put that in RAM in the place called name. Finally, we're going to output "Your name is," add name to it, and we're going to output that to the screen. We could have output it to the printer, or we could have output it to a mobile phone, wherever we want to output it. So that's a simple command program in mind map.